All right, James, I know you weren't there in our first week back in November when we took videos, so you don't have an original video to compare this one to. But we already know what we're working on, right? That's staying aggressive the whole time, right? We got this nice aggressive beginning part of our delivery. We just know that we just got to stay aggressive all the way through release, not just to when we think the baseball's out of our fingers, but well after that baseball's out of our fingers, then we can start to slow down, right? We get this kind of stiff arm that doesn't even really get all the way across our body, right? And those are the ones where on this one we can see at the end how it's bam, it's over here. I bet this was one that you would have thought, yeah, I really threw that one hard. And this one may have been one that you look back at me, I'm already looking at you, and you're giving me that look like, yeah, that felt like only 80%. Um, so we just got to keep finding whatever that mental side is to unlock that beast that's within you. We don't have an original video to compare to because you weren't there that first practice in November when we took videos. So there's nothing to compare to. However, this is an opportunity for you to see what you do look like from 2 points of view. We'll take that back again for you to be able to watch again. We got the good leg lift. We have the good hand separation. Lower body is rotated. Upper half is relatively tall at release. What we want to try to be able to do is get this chin and chest out in front as much as we can at release, which results in our chest being more out here and our hand being more out here at release, cutting down the distance that the baseball has to travel before it gets to the batter. That's going to help us throw the ball harder. It's going to give the baseball a little extra movement on it, and it's going to make us a more difficult pitcher to hit. So we're going to want to do drills that incorporate getting your chest down and out in front. And if you go on the mechanical drills playlist, there is a video that's titled something along the lines of getting my chest out in front through release or something of the sorts, where it'll be a video shot at a very similar angle like this with a background that looks very similar to this, with me rotating into a beam that looks very similar to this on the mechanical drills playlist. Connor, we've been working on getting control over your glove. We have your old video on the left and the new video is on the right. What we're going to see is as the glove goes out towards the target, it's in a very similar position. As the glove comes around, it's not as far out as it is in the old video, and therefore it's able to continue to stay not as far out, which results in a better finished position, which is exactly what we've been wanting to work on. What we're going to notice when we get both of these videos up side by side is that we are not using our lower body. We need to use these legs to generate power down the mound, which means this back leg needs to move our entire body as fast and as aggressively towards that target. And we can see that this foot gets into the ground before this back leg has had the opportunity to do anything. We are just kind of stepping off to the side. We're just kind of stepping off to the side and throwing the baseball. What we would say this is we would say this is playing catch, not pitching. You're just kind of up here throwing the baseball instead of pitching the baseball. We got to drive these legs out. That's the next thing we got to be working on, is using these legs to go, 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 go. Stay consistent and repeat, right? We got some good stuff. We just got to stay consistent. So thanks for wearing the same sweatpants. That is consistent. We got things that are synced up to when that ball comes out of your hand, so it's tough to have the same sync when the front foot gets in the ground. But what we are going to notice is as that front foot is in the ground, we're going to be in a slightly different position than our old video. So if I get your old video, when that front foot is all the way into the ground, about right there, we can see how much that upper body is rotated around already. When we get your new video, front foot in the ground all the way, we can see how much better that upper body is at being squared up. What we're also going to notice here as we come through is because your front shoulder was so open already in your old video, all you could really do from being this open was just kind of fling things around. And that's when you had that super, super low arm slot. Now that you are closed with the upper body at that moment that that front foot is getting into the ground, you have that ability to rotate things forward, and that's why your arm slot appears to be higher. But if we just got your body to kind of tilt back this way just a little bit, you would be matching this a lot if this also went this way a little bit. And that's just explains arm slots. That's how that really works. Everything we got going on here, we can just see in your face. We are attempting to throw the baseball hard. We are putting energy and effort into the throw. It'd be great if the eyeballs were open. But we can see over here, this is kind of just more like a bleh, nonchalant throw. Not saying that it was, but just you could just see the difference in the effort and intensity that you're driving things through here versus just kind of flinging things off to the side over here. So much better in our new video. Keep up the good work. All right, Everett. Talking about staying relaxed, not showing off them things, trying to allow that energy to flow through your body. Oh, man. Gritting our teeth. Still tight and tense. Yeah. All right, but hey, if that's the only thing I got to criticize in your delivery, that's probably a pretty good delivery, right? So let's keep thinking about those different practice techniques we use, like the humming, right? Where I'm making you hum the entire time, and as soon as you stop humming, that's when your body's getting tight and tense. We can think about breathing, that sa when we throw, right? Whenever I'm throwing hard, you hear me breathing out loud. We could be doing that as well to help us stay relaxed, because the more loose our insides are, the faster those muscles inside there can move. And that's what's going to help us move our body fast and create power. Sammy, hopefully you've been doing those push-ups and sit-ups, dude. Because we can't tell if you've been getting bigger and stronger because you got that big old sweatshirt on in this video. But what we can tell, we got this nice high leg lift. We got this good hand separation. We got this good aggressiveness going down the mound. We got those eyes on the target. We got that good finish. We got that leg coming around, eyes on the target, glove in our finish position. Everything's looking really nice. Keep doing it. Let's add however many push-ups we're doing each day. Let's add 20. However many sit-ups we're doing each day. Let's add 20. We're talking about that strong loaded arm. That 90-90 when that front foot gets in the ground, having that shoulder to elbow in a straight line and that hand above that elbow. So as we look at the old video on the left and the new video on the right, as we get into that front foot into the ground, we're going to notice that elbow is Kind of getting low on us, dude. Not sure what's going on with that. Not sure what's going on with that. Because it wasn't something that was occurring before. Because we would go elbow, shoulder to shoulder. And now we got shoulder to shoulder to elbow over here. Which is now going to really force that elbow to go high up as it's then trying to get the hand out in front. The only thing I can think of, bud, that would be that difference is just the fact that this was flat ground and we're going slightly down. Even though that stride from here to here, it's maybe 3 feet, so it's only 3 inches down. Boy. And it's just low. We're definitely going to want to think about why that's that way versus more in there. So we will discuss this with your father at our next practice.